Okay, so we typically use video as part of our lessons, and we want students to do more than just watch the videos. We want them to actually sit and think and critically think about them, or make links to other parts of what they're learning. Now, there are online tools like Edupuzzle, for example, where you can set up the video and it pauses and asks them a question to check for understanding or to get them to think as they work their way through. What I'm going to show you today is a way that you can use Google Slides to do something similar. It's not the same as things like Edupuzzle, possibly not as good as things like Edupuzzle. What it does cut down on is the number of things that students need to sign into. All right, so let's have a look. So here I am in my Google Slides presentation. I've gone ahead and set it up already. So all we're going to do is we're going to add in a video, not that difficult, and then we're going to add a text box for students to be able to add their responses. So I've gone and found this video here about bizarre borders of the world, and so I'm going to need that link. Now what you're also going to need to do this particular activity is you're going to need to know the timestamps or where in the video you want the students to sort of pause and reflect or answer a question. So all we need to do is on the slide where we're going to put it, I'm going to simply resize that because that's where they're going to put their response. And then I'm going to insert a video. All right, we'll do it by URL. That's what I pasted before. There it is. We'll select that one. All right, so we've gone ahead and we've put that in. Now, here's the cue to that. So what you can actually do is when you've got the video frame, not playing it, when you've got the video frame selected, over here under format options. Now, if this menu is not appearing, it'll be here. Okay, under format options, you just need to make sure that you've got the frame for the video selected, so that sort of faint blue line that you can see. So you're going to go format options, and then see here, you've got a start and end at time. So if my first sort of question that I wanted to ask them to check for understanding started here at 37 seconds, with that 37 seconds, we just type that in and we pause that. Now, just for the sake of what we're doing here, I'll just make it 3 seconds, so I'll stop it at 40 seconds. All right. So when students get the video, so I'll just click off there and come back here. All right. What should happen is that when they play that video, it should jump to
those border trees will not stand.
There you go. So you can see that it just played that 3 second clip because you set your start and end time. Now the other thing you can do is you can actually preview your video over here in the format options. I might just yeah, so sorry, there's just going to be a bit of sound in the background there. So you've actually got your keyboard shortcuts there as well as you want them. So you can be playing the video, previewing the video, and then when you know you're at the right time within that preview, you've actually got this option down here, use current time, right? And that will adjust it to the correct time. Now, a couple of tricks. You can use the arrow key on your keyboard to jump back 5 seconds, usually.
But which might
playing,
be
so you can sort of jump 5 seconds at a time with taps on your key, and then obviously when you get to
which might make you think this must be the longest
to the end of the clip. So it won't let me do it at the moment because I'm not at the right point. You know, my start point is after the end time there. So I just need to jump ahead a little bit. Now I can click on that use current time, and so it will play that clip. That will reset it to the end. That will reset it to the start. All right, so there's some other options that you've got as you're setting up your video. Now, if you wanted multiple questions, this is where it's not as good as something like Edupuzzle. You could just go ahead and duplicate this slide. There's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can just right-click on it, for example, and choose Duplicate Slide. All right, and then make sure you've got that box selected, and then reset your start and end time for your clip. And then when you copy it for the students, so you would give it to the students either through Google Classroom and then set it so that every student gets their own copy, or when you're sharing it, if you're not using Google Classroom, up here where it says edit, just take that, delete that, put in copy, and then highlight the entire web address and share that with your students. So what that does is that when they, just to show you what that looks like, when they click on that link, they get this prompt to make a copy. So they get their own copy, and then they would need to share that back with you to use that. All right. Now, your other option, if you wanted to turn it more into a class discussion, what you could do is obviously share it with the entire class, but you could change the layout by coming here to page setup and choosing a custom format, and so let's go for about 15 centimeters wide by, I don't know, 30 centimeters high, just for the sake of it. There we go. And then you could sort of change the layout a little and make it look a little bit more like a discussion forum kind of thing. And then students could enter their responses in the text below. All right. Unfortunately, when you change the page layout, it does it to the whole presentation. You can't do it on a slide-by-slide basis. But there's a couple of options, and then you can use you can change your background and add your other graphics to make it look a bit more visually appealing and so forth as well. Not forgetting, I've shown you in previous videos where you can put a PDF as a background. Something on my mouse keeps jumping around. So if you had a graphic organizer, you could add that as your background and then have students sort of write over the top of that. Get in touch with me if you want more help with that. All right, so that's the low-key way of being able to customize your videos and add in an opportunity for students to put in some responses to questions or some reflections based on just a portion of your video. As always, if you're having hassles with that, get in touch and I'll help you out. Have a good one.